Hey everybody, Laura and Scott here from Strong Confident Living. It is no effing excuses week.
We're working on this one.
What do you mean?
What time is it?
I'm like 3 minutes late.
No excuses.
There was no
Laura.
excuse. I didn't even give you an excuse. Welcome in, welcome in everybody. It is no excuses week kickoff here, and we are going to give you 5 ways in this broadcast. Kat's sharing it.
Okay, cool.
5 ways that you can shrink your butt. So welcome into Strong Confident Living. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of the Laura and Scott
Shit show.
system.
Are you all right?
I am fine. I'm fine.
You sure you want to do this with me?
I'm fine.
You asked
I
me
am
to
not
be a
sure
part
I
of
want
this.
to do this with you,
You
but I
asked me.
figured
Why is this thing-
it is really good in terms of attitude adjustment when you shift your attitude around your excuses. So I figured I could use a little chief attitude officer time.
Well, thank you for inviting me into your time.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Guys, welcome to No Excuses Week. If you are feeling like you are falling short of getting to your goals and you find that you are saying the big but word a lot, like I would love to do that, but I would love to launch a business, but I would love to get in better shape, but I would love to have more money, but whatever your thing is, I want you to really recognize that that is a big but, and we are going to help you shrink your butt literally and figuratively here at Strong Confident Living. We do both.
Yeah,
We do both.
we do.
So
We do. I mean, I think this is a really important one right here. What are you putting up? No
I'm
excuses.
putting up no excuses.
I mean, I think the overall gist of what we're going to talk about here with this and the shrinking your butt is really how you are becoming your biggest roadblock, or you actually are your biggest roadblock.
Do you create your big butt?
Figuratively and expressively.
Okay, this is such a good week. It is such juicy content. If you are inside our lauraandscott.com platform, you're going to see the deeper dive just unlocked today. So take the deeper dive. But what we love to do here is give you all of the tips that we can within 30 minutes of what we can do and what we've done ourselves to shrink our own butts. The butts, we're just going to get right into it because everyone has it. Right? Everyone has like the time that in our lives where we make excuses. And we're gonna, I made a sentence structure, the teacher in me.
Is that what all these
So we're
things
gonna
are?
give you 5 ways to shrink the excuses right now in your life. Like, and you know, we were talking about just cut that stuff out. Cut it out.
Well,
but what?
Again, I think before we even precedent that, like the idea of where I really come into this broadcast, and that is just stop.
Stop.
Right? Stop making the excuses.
Right.
That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the idea of stop, but not just stop making it. Okay, that's great. Okay, stop making the excuses.
Like I can
Scott.
just stop making
Right?
excuses,
It's
Scott,
not that simple.
but it's not that easy.
What we're going to do is give you then the 5 steps that you can take to then help eliminate those excuses from your vocabulary so that but becomes better.
Debbie, Mary, Dennis,
Welcome
we
in.
see you guys. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this. So we're going to jump right in because I think, again, that this is not something that anyone is like, oh, I never make an excuse. I am just perfect and I never make an excuse. No. Like
There is no
already this
perfect.
morning, if you guys watched our 5-minute workout this morning, I was a few minutes late and literally every excuse was running through my head. Okay, like, okay, I gotta put on a splash of makeup. Oh, I gotta brush my hair. I gotta do this. Someone was in the bathroom. But we gotta go live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern.
Or 9:02.
But this didn't happen. But that didn't happen. So the first ding, ding, ding. yes, is to stop and have a ding, ding, ding moment of awareness when you say it.
I think
Okay, when you
recognize.
say it. So what's our
Right.
number one? What's our
So
number one?
the number one thing is stop the blame game. Ooh, I actually really like that. Yeah, own your shit. Right?
Own it!
So what that means is, right, it's like stop giving external pieces the power of you, right? And I think this is a good one. And the easiest way for this to break this one down is to have you go back to your game plan and have a game plan. Sorry.
I'm gonna take over?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, one more one. So this is where you stop passing
Okay.
the butt to something else. So let's give some examples
Ooh.
because the best thing when you're learning is by example, right? So this is back to the teacher and me.
Thank you.
You're shaking our camera.
I know, it's because I'm dying.
Do you want to take a drink of water? Don't die. This is Strong Confident Living. Okay, so I want you to think about, I want to work out, but blank. Okay, this is the intention, which is so good. This points to the intention that you have. I want to make a ton more money, but blank. I want to open my own business, but blank. I want to, slim down, but blank. So like I want to work out, but you know
Okay,
what? My
we get
kids
that.
are driving me nuts today. No, I'm just going to now give the excuse.
there we go.
I wanted to launch a business, but I don't have enough money. I want to have more money, but I come from a family who has no money, or whatever it is. You can always see there's two sides to this story. There's two different lenses. And on the first part of your sentence is always the positive intention. It actually shows what you want. It actually shows what you desire. And then the second thing that comes after the big but is usually no good, right?
That's where
what's
you
holding
starts
you
to
back.
shine your, yes.
So what's so bad about that side here?
Again, it's giving away everything right here, right? It's giving away, it's shining the light on what needs to actually be done.
Yeah, so it's shining the light on back to here being like, you want this, but blank. And when you put something in that blank that goes after the big but, you are literally handing the keys over of your power right there. Being like, but
All right, so
my
how do we
blank,
fix that?
Right, so I think you need to take the power back, right? Own your shit. All my notes.
So many note cards here.
And now you're like, I choose. Okay, so the biggest thing is instead of blaming, like let's just say, so this is an important one, guys. Ding ding. This is a really important one. In this part of the blame game that's happening is I wanted to do this, or I wish, or I could have. It's weak. It's not strong and confident. Okay, when you're passing over the control of who's running your life to the whatever you're blaming it on, and most often people blame themselves. And when you blame yourself, this is a huge ding ding moment, you are creating yourself as your biggest roadblock. So if you're like, I wanted to do this, but I suck. But I am not smart enough. But I'm not old enough. You're setting yourself up to shrink your own expectation by creating yourself as your own roadblock. So it's always awareness as number one, right? And you need to switch the words around. So in this part of the step one, which is stop passing the but, right, to something else outside of your control, is you need to switch your language to I chose. I chose, like instead of being like, you know what, I really wanted to work out today, but I didn't have enough time. That would be mine. Okay, mine would be me versus time. So I would always give the power over to time. I don't have enough of this, so time would be always a thing. So no, you have to switch the language to I chose. I chose not to work out today because I chose to do other things instead, okay? I chose to do this. So you need to change your but to a so and make a plan of action for the next time.
That's a good one.
Give an example of the action.
No.
Okay, well then I'll give an example of action. The next thing, if you switch the but to a so, you're like, so the next time this happens, and if you're like, I wanted to work out, but my kids were driving me crazy, or I didn't have enough time, or whatever the excuse is, now you're grabbing the power back the moment you say, I chose. I chose not to work out today. I chose to eat the pizza today. I chose to and you're literally grabbing the power back, and you're not ever giving it now to the excuse. So now you got to set yourself up for the next time. And you got to say, so the next time this happens and I want pizza, I'm going to make a salad. So the next time I want to work out and my kids are driving me crazy, I'm going to just, pop into an online workout and do it from home so they can be playing in the background. Or whatever it is that you can turn your but into a so. That is a huge, huge tip because it puts it back in the power of the plan, like you said.
It puts it back in the power of plan. And most importantly, you've got to truly be very, very confident in that decision you're making. Right? The fact that you did not work out today, right? You can say, oh, I chose not to work out today because of this. But you've actually got to feel the good in that, not the negative in that, right? You can still be like, oh, yeah, I chose to do this, but, you start going downhill.
Yep, and Mary's asking
Right.
a good question. We'll do a live Q&A on this on Wednesday, but she said, can I say I want? Absolutely. You could always say I want because it's like that's what you desire.
There's
So
nothing wrong
what
with
you
that.
desire is always going to be like, not I wish or I should have or I could have.
Just
No,
don't-
I want to work out. That's fine, but
But-
it's the but. It's the but that's the problem, not the I want.
Still don't want to
Okay?
end it with a but.
But I couldn't do da. That's the excuse part that you need to clean up. So you need to clean up, switch the but to a so, just cross the but out, change it to a so. I want to work out, so blank. And now the excuse becomes a plan. Do you see how that like just shifts immediately?
Yeah.
Just that is recognizing your language, and sometimes write down exactly what you're saying as you're saying it, being like, ding, ding, ding. Oh my God, I just said but. Shrink the but, turn it into a so, write it down, make a plan, execute the plan in 24 hours. Okay, you will literally be a willpower boss. All that excuses turn into is a fuel, in my opinion, of willpower. It gets so juicy. Can you get excited about this? All right, what's number 2, babe?
The excuses are shining the light on exactly what your biggest struggles are.
Oh,
And where you need to then put that pinpoint focus to do what? Laura's favorite 2 words.
done
Flip
and
it.
done. Flip it.
Way
Fun
to
and done.
tee that up for you. Flip it, right? Turn that negative into a positive.
Turn that negative into a positive. So what Scott's saying is, I like to say, like in this number 2, find a but role model. Okay, so this is like if you are already looking outside of yourself to make an excuse, then continue to look outside of yourself and find someone that's in your situation or even in a tougher situation, because you're already looking externally. So
Who's
that's
doing
really
it?
a good point.
Right.
But then who's doing it, right? So this would be a really important thing, because like what Scott said, your excuses are shining a light on truly what you want, truly what you desire. If you keep saying over and over again, if your thing in the last year, let's say of 2020, has been like, I really, want to get my life together, but look what's going on in the world. Look at this, look at that. And you are always looking outside of yourself as if the outside of yourself is the problem. Not that like the world is not in chaos right now. I get that. But like this is then the extreme opportunity for you to take responsibility and say, I want to do this, so I'm going to now create a better but. Okay, this is about finding a role model that's saying, well, this person's in a tough situation, right? And this person's still doing it, so I'm going to model what this person is doing. And it's a really good opportunity, because in that excuse land, you're recognizing that like I'm not finding it within me right now. I am not lighting up an inspiration to be like, regardless of the chaos swirling around me, I am calm, cool, confident, and collected, and I'm like owning my stuff. I'm moving forward. I'm on track. If you're not feeling that way, you need a role model. Okay. And that's a great way, because then we're suggesting that you do look outside of yourself for the motivation, because you're already looking outside of yourself for the problem.
And a lot of the
for
times that's
excuse.
what we need. We need that external motivation to kind of light us up, right? You see something that someone else is doing, you're like, oh, I want to do that. That's exactly how I want to feel. There is nothing wrong with that. Right? It's not going to always come from within. And that is actually really important to recognize, that until it comes from within more, look outside, because there are plenty of people you can look to be like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
That's what I want.
I want a life like that. I want to be healthy like that. I want to be happy like that. I want, I was always looking at like, who's looking at palm tree life? Like, how are you living in California? Like, what are you up to? What are you up to? Okay, that's inspiring me. So you need to do that too if you're not finding it in yourself. And it's so cool to do that, because then you're like taking ownership, being like, that's part of my plan. I'm looking outside of myself for the problem. May as well look outside of myself also for the solution. Because if the solution exists and someone else is doing it outside of me, eventually I'm going to reflect that too. So that's really huge. I could go on just about that, but take the deep dive. If you're in Laura and Scott, take the deep dive. We give you the steps on how to do that. I mean, like, I love that. My sister, I talk about this all the time. Like, she's not that she wants to run in the rain, but she wants to put up the person that's running in the rain on the vision board, not the one just getting the medal, but the one who's running in the rain.
Through
because
the suck.
You're like, yeah. Or like, let's say you have an injury and you keep saying, I can't work out because I got a foot injury. Well, then find people who are literally like in wheelchairs working out and be like, well, they're in a wheelchair working out. I've got just like a busted up ankle or something. Like, they can do it. I can do it.
I can do it this way.
And that's what I love about our community. All of you inside Strong Confident Living is like, we're constantly looking inside and outside of ourselves for those people who are like struggle to transformation. Share your struggle.
So beautiful.
Share that strength. like what Tasha posted the other day,
So
that
beautiful.
video. Like we've watched it like 10 times.
So many times.
Okay, so Tasha, thank you. Because it's like things like that then refuel us. Okay, so that is super cool.
There
All
you
right,
go.
what's next?
I just want to congratulate Mary because you're obviously being the influence on your husband to want to actually turn his life around too and lose that weight. So congratulations.
Yeah, she said my hubby
Right?
finally decided he needs to do something about his weight. Okay, so maybe it took your vacation in Florida to recognize,
Whatever.
like, and he's looking around outside being like, I want to be like that. So instead of dragging someone into your excuses, which is really part of this, okay, the problem that a lot of people have in the blame game part of steps 1 and 2 is like we drag our spouses into our blame story.
Yeah.
So it's like, babe, I really wanted to work out, but like, no, I won't use that example with you. I really wanted to eat clean. Oh, that's a hard example to use with you too. Oh, shoot. But you're not.
get it.
Like, but you keep bringing home the pizza. Like, oh my God. And then people amplify that story. Like, my husband must not care about like my workout, like things like, and he's not on track with me and da-da-da. And like when you wrap other humans who are on their own path into your blame story and amplify it up, like that's a recipe of potential disaster, because then you're setting expectations to fail for almost everybody involved.
You
and
can't
not feel
drag
good.
anyone.
Don't drag anyone.
Don't
And
drag.
also like,
Don't
it's
be a
just
dragger.
not cool, because what if the
Not
intention was like, I saw you were busy, honey, so I just brought home pizza. Otherwise maybe dinner wasn't going to be made tonight. And been like, thank you. Okay. So anyway, there's all that. So good job, Mary. Good job being a shining example of what's possible in this world of strong, confident living. All right. Number 3.
We're going to talk about a no excuse way to finish what you started.
Ooh. Hi. Me?
Yeah, this is all you, really. I mean, you're on a roll.
Well, finish what you started. This is stop negotiating yourself halfway through, whether it's a cleanse day, whether you're going for a run, whether you like are like in the 44-day slim down with us and you're like 22 days in right now or just getting started and you're already renegotiating with yourself and excuses are starting to pop up of why you don't think you can finish what you started. Because there is something in transformation that happens with every single human. And
It's
if you
called
just
doubt.
know it, it's doubt, and it pops up when trust needs to go up. And that's when excuses come up. So excuses come up. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that
I
was-
see that. Oh, my computer gave us a ding, ding, ding
Okay.
moment. Okay, this is where we learn to wipe the butt. This is what I see as a windshield wiper. In my head, this is like a hilarious thing with shrinking the butt. But now this is where you go, whoosh, whoosh. Okay? Let's just say you have a goal and you are only like a little bit way through and self-doubt starts creeping in. Self-doubt is going to pile in all of your excuses, all the best of excuses that tell you all the reasons why, you're halfway through, you ran 2 miles of the 5 miles, why that's enough.
It's just not gonna work,
You're
right?
halfway through your day and you're like, this isn't going to work, but and then you hear the buts, you hear the excuses. This is where you got to get really savvy. I close my eyes. I see those words coming through. I'm so aware of my thoughts and I picture that like a windshield wiper. Like I have a parade of thoughts, like literally, like I sometimes turn my thoughts. I'm very visual. I literally turn them into like drums and like a whole little orchestra, like
you.
going across my forehead. And I'm like, whoosh, don't want that one. I like literally windshield wipe it. So I call it like wipe or swipe the butt.
Yeah, and it's actually such a powerful exercise, right? It's
I
a
like,
really
just see that
powerful
little
exercise,
drummer.
especially when you can see and visualize that idea of, for me, I just think of it as, growing up in the north, the snow, like just wiping it away so you're clear again. Right? Like that
So-
idea from not being able to see so good, right? That doubt creeping in to just being like, whoosh, whoosh, crystal clear, I know where I'm going. Never
Yep.
mind.
Yep.
I'm not allowing that to happen right now. I'm just gonna wipe it out. Bye-bye.
Especially if you followed the previous 2 steps, because if your butts are showing you what you truly desire and it's showing you truly what your goal is, like, okay, I clearly want to work out, or I clearly want to make more money, or I clearly want to get healthy, or whatever it is, like if it's clearly showing you what you actually want your target to be, then once you start, it is so normal for that parade of self-doubt, because the old you wants to just like keep you back in the old you. So you need to see it. I like to see it literally, like I'm saying, like a
Yeah.
windshield wiper.
It's
And I like the
powerful.
way that you just explained, like snow is starting to cover
Yeah,
your
it's
windshield.
clouded.
You now no longer can see your goal. So can you like just have trust, because that's what trust is. The ability to like still see your goal clearly in your imagination when you're not seeing it or feeling it outside of yourself right now. And your wiping is basically showing your old self, not that anymore. It's like the go sit in the corner like we talked about. Okay, it's the old voice wiping, so the new voice can be amplified and get louder. The one that says no excuses, blah, blah, blah. You know, you call yourself no excuses, Laura. Like, get it done.
Yeah, so just recognize you're just one windshield wiper away from being crystal clear again.
I like that.
Me too. I think that windshield wiping analogy is amazing.
Wipe the butt.
Wipe the butt.
Shrink the butt. Don't pass the butt. Okay, this is the ones we got through so far. Find a good butt role model. And now wipe it.
the butt.
Wipe it clean, because you're
Gotta be
literally
clean.
wipe it clean.
Wipe it clean.
Like
you
literally,
the ones came up with this.
Swipe, swipe,
Swipe, swipe.
swipe, swipe, and see those thoughts. And like when you get that self-aware, when your sense of self of who you are and where you want to be going is that strong inside of you, and it's that clear, it is really easy to wipe the butt.
And to go into
Swipe,
our next step.
It is just so easy, because you're like, I want you guys to feel that black and white towards your goal. Exactly. And when it gets cloudy, you're like, oh, it's just cloudy because I'm full of self-doubt right now. Wipe,
Such a great
clear
exercise.
again,
Such
confident,
a great exercise.
not weak.
Because it happens, it's going to happen, right? Those moments of weakness are going to try to seep in, cloud your vision, right? The snow's piling on the windshield. Off you go.
It's so great, because just think of the powerful tools now just in these few minutes, where it's like you're changing the butt to the so. You're like, wipe, that was the
Finding
old me.
the good
This
role
is
models.
clearly the new
Good
me.
butt role models.
I'm driving this car with the windshield wipers that are now so clear, like no one else is. I am no longer giving my excuses the keys to drive this car and see clearly or unclearly. Or I had a call today, or I had a talk with someone today who was like, we'll see. Like, she's got a huge life decision weighing on her shoulders, and she was just like, we'll see in the next week or so. I was like, what? We'll see. Like, I'm like, you just gave everything outside of you the power to drive you. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want clearly to happen? Because she's like, but da-da-da-da-da, and this happened, and but he said this, and but that happened. And I'm like, but, shrink the butt. Okay? So this happens a lot. And guys, we've all done this. It's just being aware and knowing some simple tools like we're giving you to change it. And as you're ready, or if this is really like hitting you deeply, join our program and like literally take the deeper dive. Do the mini course on this. It is like, it's a crash course of this stuff. Deep dive. Okay? This is a good one.
I know you're excited for this one.
Create. I don't know, this is so
Create
hard. I don't
a
know why I'm having a
beautiful
hard time with
butt. So this is actually the butts that you want.
The butts that you want.
Who doesn't want a nice butt?
This is where you become the role model butt. Okay,
How do you
actually,
become-
the next step.
How do you create a beautiful butt, Laura?
You create a beautiful butt, but if you're saying the word butt, might as well make it a good butt.
Powerful
like,
butt.
Okay, so here's an example. Like, I wanted to, like,
Today was a great day.
Today was a great day.
But tomorrow's going to be even better.
See, I need you, babe.
I know. I need you.
I need you.
You need me. We need me. We're
I
Lauren
love
Scott.
it. We're Lauren Scott. Long story.
Focus.
Long story. You guys, this is creating a more beautiful butt is like, use it to say, I recognize where I am right now, but my
only gonna get
future's
better.
even better. If you're going to use the word butt, flip the butt to a more beautiful butt and be like, I am learning. But tomorrow, gosh, when I put all these new tools into action, my life's going to be even more clear. I'm going to be driving even faster down the road towards my goal because I can accelerate. Swiped, I cleaned it. So everything that's a butt is only better, right? Create a better butt. Like that butt, things are only getting better. But this whole thing that's happening that seems like it's a mess, but like, I think there's a lot of stuff going on that's like learning in disguise. That's like growth and expansion and everything that I needed, like in disguise. And it's like, but I really believe in a better future Because right now, the world really does need a lot more hope. There's a lot of helplessness going on right now and a lot of excuses. A ton of excuses. A ton of blame games. A ton of passing the buts but if this stuff outside of me would just cooperate, I would live a better life right now. Yep. Okay? So there's a lot of stuff going on that needs to just recognize clarity. What do you want? How can you work towards it? And how can you say, but maybe things are being exposed to a whole other level because things are only getting better. Things are meant to get better. That's how everything grows in this planet. So last step. We want you guys to step into being the example of shrinking your butt. There's only one way to change yourself, and it's taking extreme responsibility for your butts, okay? Own your butt. We like to say in our house, we don't half-ass anything, okay? So all this butt talk, it's pretty hilarious.
We full-ass it.
Yeah, it's I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to give it my full ass. I don't half-ass anything. Own your ass. Own your shit. Own I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to shrink my butt. I'm going to have a role model for a better butt. I'm going to be the example of a better butt. Okay. Not just physically, figuratively. Mm-hmm. Okay. And your physical representation of you and the stress that you're holding right now in your body is likely a lot of the excuses too. If you're holding a lot of stress, you're holding excess weight, you're holding a physical expression of yourself and all the stresses and being but this is where I was 10 years ago, guys. I was but I just had my third son. But this is what happens when you have 3 kids. But everyone said I'm supposed to get worse with age. But da 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 da. If your buts are then literally all the excuses of why things should be as bad as they are for you, why you need to justify and defend why you need to stay in a sucky place in your life, that is on you. Okay? Because you can change that with the tools that we just gave you.
Whoa.
I am just saying that it
Laura's
is time.
Mic dropping this.
No, I am I'm done. Okay? I'm DONE with all the passing of the butts that are going on right now and all the blame games going on.
I like this part of you.
I really think that the world needs more people to say, stop the excuses. I'm ready for change.
Own your
I
shit.
want to own my own stuff. I want to move forward. I want to step into being the example and taking ownership of that. And despite everything and anything, despite the past, despite whatever, I want to be that shining example. And that is what's happening with the people who are stepping up in this world right now. It is beautiful when you see those examples of people who are stepping up and saying, I've got this. Despite all that, I don't want any of all that to drive my car of my life, my happiness, my future. So it's totally up to you guys to literally either take the deeper dive in our program with us, or at least minimum, go through this broadcast again. Be part of our live Q&A sesh on Wednesday. Recognize where your greatest excuses are going on in your life. What are you waking up every friggin' day and saying, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. But blank. And you're here blank,
Here's
excuse.
the keys.
Here's all the power of my life.
Take your power back.
Take your power back. Be empowered. Be the example. That is the best part of struggling and releasing the excuses and saying, despite all that, I am getting up. I'm going to give this thing another rep. And that's when you push through to transformation and breakthrough, guys. It's amazing. It's amazing. So this is a powerful essence of Strong Confident Living. Can you tell? So be part of our Q&A on Wednesday night at 7:30 Eastern time, same place. We will be here to answer your questions. Join our Strong Confident Living Facebook group. I'm going to start a little thread saying, where do you have excuses going on in your life? Where do you wish, if you could just wave the magic wand and make this excuse go away that you really are ready to take more ownership of in your life? And we will help you, walk you through those, only because we've been there. We've literally had excuses in everything. We've had excuses in our relationship that we had to get through, excuses in our parenting, excuses in our moves. We've moved all over the country. Oh, I'd love to do that. I would love to live in California, but we can't. We have a business in Denver. We have shrink. everything is on the other side of your excuses that you want. So we're ready to walk you guys through that. Join us Wednesday. I really appreciate you joining me today, bringing your Scott energy.
I thought you brought the energy today, to tell you the truth. You were on fire right there. You were like laying down the hammer.
Well, I know the lessons that we filmed for the deep dive of this mini crash course, and they are frigging life-changing. You could literally watch the 5 days of our broadcast on this with all the tools, and I mean, it's how we changed our life. It's like literally what I apply to everything. And no excuses to me is like where it's at, because like I don't care whether I'm working with an 11-year-old or an 80-year-old, or like whether your problems are so big or so small, like it is the excuse that is having the power in so many cases. And when you take that power back, it's such a juicy day in your life.
It's enlightening.
Because you're like, I've got this. I can actually now make a plan around what I want. I don't feel like a victim to my circumstances or people or anything anymore. And again, the world is ripe for that right now because there's just too much crap going around in terms of like things swirling and everyone being like, I could just be part of that negativity and say that's why I'm stuck.
Yep.
No, I want anyone who's feeling like they're ready to get unstuck, to literally like put it to the test with us, because we're ready for you. It's going to be awesome. And you're ready for it if you're ready. If you're ready for us. If you're ready for us.
You're ready for it, you're ready for it.
You're ready for it. If you are literally like drawing the line in the sand, being like, I am so done with struggling against my excuses, you're ready. You're ready. So join in. See us Wednesday. Join LaurenScott.com. There's no other things to say.
Nope,
I'm done here.
Our butts
I love you guys.
have shrunk.
And believe me, even when I feel this passion, it is literally all out of love. Like, and if I was private mindset coaching you, like, or mindset coaching you inside our Lauren Scott, like, it is literally out of love. Always. Because that is what expands your perspective. And so you can see your current struggle in a whole new way. You can create change for yourself. Amen. And your excuses will become the fuel. I love you guys. Have a beautiful night. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys in a couple days. Bye.